Hello everyone, I'm Ruby, and today I want to share with you my research on how the MOOCs platform could utilize educational data mining and learning analytics to improve themselves. So for the abstract part, I have found that during the pandemic, more and more students have shifted toward online learning platforms for education, such as the MOOCs platform. And as a statistics, I have found that MOOCs has reached 220 million learners in 2021. And with the vast amount of data that is collected through a wide range of courses and increasing students, we can reveal some hidden patterns through the analytical tools and improve the educational and learning practices. So this research aims to gain insight on how the teachers and institutions could create a seamless learning experience for online students by applying analytical technologies on their data. So our topic is about the educational data mining and learning analytics. So these both technologies could be employed to monitor students and groups, suggest course structural changes, and also tailor learning experiences. So what exactly is EDM, educational data mining, and LA, learning analytics? We can take a look at this graph. So first of all, EDM is more about the prediction and performance of the students' performances, and they would make use of machine learning or classifications to make use of the educational data. And as well as the learning analytics, they focus more on the learning systems and assessment of students' behavior. So both of them both emphasis on the student aspect, but they both have different focuses. They complement each other in this kind of analytical fields. And for the MOOCs platform, as we know, it is the abbreviation for Massively Open Online Courses, and it is usually accepting an infinite number of students, and it is facilitated fully online. So any students from worldwide at any learning levels can use this platform to learn. And during my research, I found that tutors and students usually have less direct platforms to communicate. So oftentimes, the MOOCs platforms has low completion rates. And for the effectiveness of the educational data mining, I found some of the common applications of the EDM, such as prediction, clustering, and relationship mining. And I find these aspects are pretty self-explanatory, so I would just put some of the examples here for your reference. And about the learning analytics, the past literature have also shown that it has the impact like prediction, visualization, and improving students' involvement. So these two analytical tools are helpful for us to explore more on the educational data. So let's take a look at our main focus today. It is the how we can utilize the EDM and LA to improve the MOOCs. And I will divide my discussion into three parts. First is the course design. Second will be our students' engagement. And the third part would be the support system. And each part, we will have a supporting detail to discuss about how we can improve each of these aspects. First of all, for the course design, we can utilize the EDM and LA to support informed decision making. When we look at the types and frequency of the learning materials viewed, we can find ways to redesign our course and allocate our resources. And also, we can utilize our analytical tools to understand students' learning behaviors, such as finding out the linkages between how the students are using the learning resources, how they are behaving while learning, and their characteristics. I found an interesting study on a online flat classroom, and through the EDM, which is clustering the students into three types, they found that students can be classified into novice, careful, confident, traditional, and non-novice confident. And out of the three clusters, we can find that the novice careful was performing quite differently from the other groups in video views because the students are more utilizing the videos to improve their learnings. And for beginner learners, it can be hard for them to get along with the course in the half latter part of the course. So for the course improvements, these parts can be revised, and it would possibly benefit those who are struggling with challenging subjects. So this is one of the aspects of how EDM could improve course design. And the second part is students' engagement. For the students who are struggling or performing below a certain standards, EDM can find out and predict who are performing less than a certain standard or learning not so well. So teachers can provide like personal messages or engaging learning activities to encourage them to go on with their learning journey. A interesting study done on the Nottingham Trent University. They did a dashboard on their university students and evaluated their students by 5 levels of their engagement ratings from high to very low. And students and teachers could all see this kind of graph and dashboards. They can have a discussion on how they are performing in each course, and they can provide early assistance for those students that are having little engagement with the course. Besides the benefit from the teacher's point of view, students can also see their own progresses and gradually build confidence. So this is one of the examples. And then other example I found is very interesting is from the University of New England. They have found that students who were dropping out had recorded being unhappy or very unhappy. So besides considering when we are building models, we need to consider like online presence or completion history. We can also put into account of emotional or satisfactory levels to predict which students are losing their momentum while learning on the MOOCs platforms. So combined with the two cases, we can see that EDM and LM will gradually help increase the MOOCs students' engagement. And the third part would be the support system. We can see that under this graph, we can see that the University of Adelaide, they did a case on how to improve on-site learning experiences by creating a dashboard that showed how the group discussions are going on. They monitored multiple groups' activities and saw the changes in their emotions such as joy or anger or anticipation. So when they did this study, they also manually did the analysis, but the automated analysis was quite similar. So when such dashboards are being made, lecturers are able to focus on resolving the prioritized issues without having to go through a large discussion forum. So as we know that MOOCs platforms often have a lot of discussion boards for students to connect with each other. So this kind of tool would help students and teachers and tutors who cannot go and struggle to keep track of the discussions can utilize this kind of dashboards to improve the students' improvements and offer support system. So as a conclusion, I would say that data mining and learning analytics are helpful for helping students improve their course designs, engagement, and giving them a healthy support system. And that's my presentation. And thank you.
Right. So thank you very much. Yeah, I think as a teacher, I find Ruby's topic very interesting. I think most of you have the experience, right, of learning online. So I guess you probably will have something to share with us later. All right, good. So I think I would like to invite questions and comments. Again, to speak, you just need to turn on the mic. All right, again, I can maybe start with my question first. All right, I think so. So, Ruby, I like what you just mentioned about applying analytics in maybe improving students' engagement. So you talk about applying the LA, the EDM. I wonder, is there any way through which we can maybe try to quantify any improvement in students' engagement after we try to apply the discoveries through the two approaches?
For an example, I would say that when you are monitoring a student's behavior through a dashboard like this, and you could track the performance changes in through time, and you can see how the uh, interventions of the tutors or some kind of course changes could improve their engagement levels. For example, this dashboard is created by uh, calculating the engagement levels by including like the times of logins or submitting homeworks, attendance, etc. to evaluate students' behavior. But also, you can evaluate other kinds of activities to see how the students are performing or if they are improving. And during this research, they also find that the students who use this kind of dashboards were more likely to hold into the high engagement levels, and very little students are still in these very low levels. So they improve to the next level.
Let's see. Yeah, thank you for the explanation. So I think my next question will be: so do you think that through applying LA and EDN, do you think this can substantially help the teacher to motivate students? Because I think, according to my observation, I think if students are already motivated, they usually stay motivated when taking courses online. But if students are less motivated before, they tend to lose more of their motivation when they're taking courses online. So I think somehow maybe online courses tend to widen the gap between students with higher and lower motivation.
I agree with you because this kind of this university did this on the on-site learning. So this is more easily to intervene and help the students. But during the online courses, it is uh, eventually just harder to interact with the students. So when we are considering how to give a more better support system, when we are helping the students with like how they are performing or how they are reflecting on the courses, some kind of dashboard like this. They performed when they have a discussion board, and they can identify how the students are feeling and giving a more assistance to those individuals who are feeling like more unhappy or more sad in some sort of way is a way for online tutors to help their students.
Let's see. Yeah, I think. Thank you for trying to elaborate on this case here. Good. So now I would like to welcome more questions and comments. or maybe anything you like Ruby to clarify for you from her own report. Yes, anyone? Okay, so yeah, I guess maybe some of you are still trying to digest what Ruby just introduced. Yeah, I understand. I think this one is maybe one of the pioneering application of analytics in education field. Yeah, I think I'm really glad that you somehow you found interest in this field. I think it has great. I think it has like maybe unlimited research potential. So I think in my experience, I would suggest that maybe you can also try to consider some TESOL literatures. By TESOL I mean TESOL. Yeah, TESOL is a field which people study how to teach English as a second language. It's part of the applied linguistics. I think in my knowledge, so educators or education researchers haven't really discussed how to apply LA and EDM yet. So that means that this idea can still be further elaborated. So my suggestion is that maybe you can also try to, for example, uh, go through some education research databases, yeah, some TESOL relevant journals, and see if any scholars, any research teams have begun discussing this issue here. I remember. I think there's a really famous. I think there's a really famous scholar on science education based in NTNU. I forgot his name now, but I think I can give his name to you. He's one of the leading researchers on science education. So I guess maybe you can also find some of his own discussion relevant to your topic here. Yeah, but again, I would suggest that you can maybe try to you can try some more research in TESOL field, and also maybe apply linguistic field. Yeah, so maybe you can still find a few studies relevant. Okay. Yeah, but I think as I see it, I think this research is almost completed. Yeah, I think again, not only the skeleton, I think you have given sufficient development of the ideas. So I would suggest that maybe you can right now focus on the implications of your research. For example, you talk about how you can apply the two tools. Maybe so right now the next step is about how you can really apply the tools to create solutions, maybe especially solutions to improving students' engagement, yeah, especially maybe how to enhance students' motivation. Yeah, I think this is maybe the biggest challenges when we offer classes online. We know, for example, maybe sometimes students they tend to they usually come to online class with some preset attitude. They'll say, "Oh, online class must be boring. There's always a lack of interactivity in online courses," which is maybe true in many cases. So maybe you can still discuss how you can apply the technology to somehow maybe improve students' motivation. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
right? You're welcome. Right. So I think Ruby has done an excellent job. So let's give her a big hand. Thank you very much. Right. I think so. Now we're